Hello, friends, and welcome back to Figure Study, where we appreciate the form in Transformers. Today, taking a look at another recolor. Well, technically not another recolor, but I'll get to that in a second. Just going to keep this repaint train rolling for one more episode with... Why am I so bad at remembering things all of a sudden? With Robots in Disguise Scorponok. I did a video a while back for Paralon, which was the Toys R Us exclusive version of this mold that was very, very purple. And, you know, not a bad figure by any means, but honestly, the weirdly misshapen head that didn't quite fit the rest of the stylings of the figure, which I found out after the fact thanks to a TJ Omega video that it's actually designed to look like Beast Wars Scorponok. That's why the Paralon's head is so weird. The mismatched head and all the purple just kind of stopped doing it for me. And then I saw Scorponok in the store and I was just like, you know what? I really dig that color scheme. So I have Scorponok now. And honestly, I do think Scorponok's color scheme is neater than Paralon's. Sorry. But he is neat. I mean, I like this almost like bronze kind of color here, which actually you can kind of, I don't know if it'll show up or not, but there's like sparkly bits in the plastic that I didn't even notice until getting it under these lights, but that's pretty cool. So it's like this nice bronze color, this darker kind of earthy color here, and then a little bit of light gray here and there, a little bit of gunmetal-ish gray here and there, especially on the tail, and then like this red here, which I will admit, the red, while it pops a bit more on the tail, you kind of lose it in the eyes and the claws. So I've got to give that to Paralon, that the contrast in the colors made some of those things pop out a little bit better. But I really do like the color scheme of Scorponok better. He just, like, it's a color scheme that works. This brown and somewhat bronzy, coppery color go really well together. The dark gray, the light gray, of course that goes together. It's just, it works. It works really, really well. And the lighter plastic, you can kind of make out some of the details a little bit better. But, I mean, aside from the head and the color scheme, this is the same exact figure. So, as with Astro Train, this is going to be relatively-ish short. Just because there's not a whole lot of difference between these and the video I already did. But still, I do really like this. I think this is a neat figure either way you get them, but I definitely prefer the Scorponok colors. It looks really nice to me. I like how the colors work together. I like how the color scheme kind of works, where you've got this like strip of gray that kind of follows all the way down, like it points you. That's pretty much literally an arrow that points you down towards the gray head and the mouth, the mandibles. The claws, I feel like the claws there could be a little bit more definition here, but all things considered, not bad. Not really a proper scorpion mouth, but scorpions don't really turn into humanoid robots either. So yeah, looks good, and as the Paralon, I mean, you know, the curl on the tail is really nice. From, you know, as long as you don't get too crazy with it, that kind of breaks it up a bit, but it's got that nice, very telltale scorpion silhouette with the tail. And I like this sort of chitinous looking armor that they've got going on there that they molded in. So yeah, very neat little scorpion thing. Only real gripe about this is the fact that the back here, when you look at the tail, it's very kind of hollow. But chances are you're not going to be looking at your scorpion from the back. But anyway, yeah. Robots in Disguise Scorponok, Scorpion mode, looks very cool. On to robot mode. And Scorponok's robot mode is Paralon's robot mode, just different colors and a different head. And I still have to give the edge to this color scheme in that head. I mean, again, I don't think Paralon is bad, but I really like this coppery and brown and light gray and dark gray mix that they have going on here, and there's a lot more of that red that kind of comes out in robot mode, which again, not the easiest to see. It's kind of like, it's a little bit too light to really show up on this coppery colored plastic, and it's like it shows up a little bit better on the painted parts of the forearms here, but yeah, really the only place you can see it with any real clarity is in the darker gray, which is a bit of a shame, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. I mean, nothing about any toy ever is the end of the world, but you know, it's just, I feel like a slightly darker or slightly lighter shade of red would work better there, although I do like this silver for the stomach. And of course, we've got that head, which, I mean, I totally can respect the homage to the original Beast Wars Scorponok that they were doing with Paralon, but this head is so much nicer on this body. It just works so much better. And I mean, it's got like some really nice detail to it too. I like that that like sneering silver face and the gray helmet that kind of looks like a scorpion head. It's really nice. Like the red eyes, the red crest, I dig it. And then of course, as with Paralon, everything else is the same, but again, I really like this look. I like the skinny legs. I like the sort of two-jointed knees. Look that out of the way to make sure it's shown. Oh, there he goes. He's actually quite stable. Yeah. Yeah, I like that two-jointed chicken leg kind of thing. I think it works really well for a robot mode that comes from a Scorpion. And I like that it allows you to kind of play around with his height a little bit. Definitely makes his legs pretty poseable. And I also am definitely a fan of the claws becoming like big shoulders. There's just a lot up to this figure that I think is really neat. And the only real complaint I have as far as like molding goes is just the hands look kind of ill-defined. Like it looks like he's kind of got like 3 little fingers there, but it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, he holds his sword just fine, but there's just, yeah. The hands could use a little more definition, but other than that, he's really cool. And I mean, as I keep repeating, because that's what I do, I repeat myself ad nauseum until you all get sick of hearing it, but Paralon is very cool. But I think Scorponok is cooler because the color scheme works better and the head actually fits the aesthetic of the rest of the figure. It's just with Paralon, that purple, while it's a really nice Decepticon purple, it's like he's, you know, just basically just wearing a onesie, and there's not a whole lot of color breakup, and that head just does not quite fit with the way the rest of the body is sculpted. But regardless, I think you really can't go wrong with either figure. Just for my money, I'd put it on Scorponok. Hey, so, as I may have mentioned, it's been a little while since I did some recording. I took a little bit of a break, and I have been making all kinds of mistakes in this particular round, and I completely forgot to do size comparisons for Scorponok. So here we go. There's Scorpion Scorponok with Samus. You can see how big he is there. And there's Robot Scorponok with Samus. We good? We good, cool. He is very neat. And one of the handful of Robots in Disguise figures that I'm going to be hanging on to. And I want to get my hands on that Soundwave. I saw a video for the upcoming Robots in Disguise Soundwave, and I am totally into that. It's like this really interesting combination of animated and prime Soundwaves, like in one form. Anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But for now, that is Robots in Disguise Scorponok. Very, very cool figure. Quite possibly my favorite that I've gotten from the series so far. I will admit I haven't gotten all of them, but that's because I don't really want most of them, because with a very few exceptions, I think a lot of them are just bad. they're not for me. I'll leave it at that. They're just not for me. But of the ones that I've managed to get my hands on, he is definitely my favorite so far. So yeah, Robots in Disguise Scorponok. Thank you everybody for watching. As per usual, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Any combination of those three would make me a happy Rob. And remember, art is more than meets the eye.